Good morning. This is KELOLAND On the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your Sunday. We also have your border busters, but first, our top story. The Hanson County Sheriff's Office says the person they were looking for this morning has been found safe. The Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook that they had received a call at around 8:45 p.m. last night that Tammy, whose last name authorities did not release, was missing. Authorities say she was last seen about an hour before that southwest of Emory. Sioux Falls police say they've arrested a person they were looking for at a Sioux Falls business last night. This video taken outside of Charlie's Pizza in southern Sioux Falls on Western Avenue shows officers with weapons drawn outside the building around 6:15 last night. Police later told us they were looking for a person connected to a prior incident, but they weren't able to give us any details on what that incident was. Police say they have arrested the person they were searching for, and there's no ongoing danger to the public. Officials have released the name of the man who died in a single vehicle crash earlier this week. The Department of Public Safety says 71-year-old Roy Robert Cadwalder of Stewart, Nebraska died in the Tuesday evening crash. Cadwalder was driving a 1939 Chevy Coupe on Highway 18 about 10 miles east of Burke. Officials say the car went into the ditch, hit an approach, went airborne, and then rolled. It's unknown if he was wearing a seatbelt. Highway Patrol is still investigating the crash. And with that, let's take a look at our weather with meteorologist Adam Runt, and it looks like a nice day to be outside today, Adam.
Oh, absolutely. It is going to be a beautiful day to get outside, so enjoy it if you have the chance to do so. That said, this morning has been a little on the cool side in a couple of areas. Not so much to the southeast. We've at least been in the 50s, which is right about where we should be for this time of year. But Falls Park is still looking nice. As I like to say, blue skies over green grass. 54 with a northwest wind at 9 miles per hour here in Sioux Falls. Aberdeen was in the 40s this morning, but all things considered, they're coming around nicely. 55 with a west wind at 6 miles per hour up that way. At the Capitol in Pierre, 54 with a beautiful view of the building itself. Northwest wind nice and light at 6 miles per hour. And we'll close the tour out west, where Rapid City was also in the 40s at first, but they've been able to jump up to 54 this morning now with a west wind at 6 miles per hour. But just look at that blue sky. You just cannot lose. 52 in Mobridge, 49 for Faith, 45 the cool spot in Custer. Not too far off the pace, that's Pine Ridge at 47. Leading the way on the other side, though, is over in Iowa. Spencer at 60, 55 for Worthington and Chamberlain. Yankton, 58, 53 for Winter, Brookings, and Watertown. Now, with the breeze starting to pick up a little bit, it's still tolerable at 5 to 15 miles per hour for much of South Dakota, but from Marshall to Spencer, it's anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. That is what takes over as we go into the afternoon, but still, it's going to be a nice day to be outside. We'll talk about the rest of your 7-day forecast, including the final days of spring coming up.
Thanks, Adam. A local nonprofit is raising money this weekend for children and families affected by pediatric cancer. Voices Against Cancer is hosting the 605 Pop Culture Con. The convention features vendors, auctions, photo opportunities, and meet and greets with celebrities.
I love to see a lot of the artists. A lot of the local artists come back every year. I like to see their stuff, and it's fun to meet and talk with the voice actors and the actors and stuff, and I enjoy that.
The event goes from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. today inside the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Well, today's your last chance to check out the traveling replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Brookings. Honor veterans by reading names of those who served and making name rubbings. It's on display at the Fishback Soccer Complex in the southern part of town. You have until 2 this afternoon to see it. You can take yourself back in time at Lake Herman State Park today, just west of Madison. The park is hosting Herman Loose Pioneer Day. Activities include rope making, butter churning, spinning candle making, and more. It goes from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Head to Bob Young Field to watch Sioux Falls City FC take on Riverlight. The match begins at 4 p.m. And the Sioux Falls Canaries are also in action today. They finish up their 3-game set versus the Kansas City Monarchs. First pitch is 4:05 p.m. at the Birdcage. And stop in at the Old Courthouse Museum in Sioux Falls for Fiber Fun. Ask for knitting and crochet tips from the Cross Threads Fiber Guild from 1 to 4 p.m. And experience the final day of 605 Pop Culture Con at the Sioux Falls Convention Center. Visitors can experience celebrity Q&A sessions, photo ops, and vendors. That runs from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. today. The event is put on by nonprofit Voices Against Cancer and raises money for pediatric cancer. All right, with that, let's get one last look at our weather with Adam. And if You plan an outdoor event today, it looks like you chose the right day to do it.
Yeah, you did, absolutely. As long as you also remember the sunscreen. Yeah, it's not going to feel hot. High temperatures today are going to be below average, but you will want to keep in mind that yes, it is still the middle of June and that UV index does routinely get into the very high range. Like today, for example, it'll be an 8. Safe sun time is going to be about 15 to 30 minutes. So yeah, keep that in mind as you go through the afternoon. Beyond that, yeah, there's just nothing going on locally. Not even really any cloud cover on satellite and radar. The closest anything gets to us, oh, you got some clouds up toward Bismarck on I-94. In terms of rain, you have to head to Chicago, portions of northern Indiana, southern Michigan as well. And that's really going to be all she wrote for most of the region today. However, there is a small chance for a bit of rain. It's terrain-driven showers over toward the hills into southwestern South Dakota. That is going to be the outlier to an otherwise dry and near picture-perfect day. Monday starts off quiet and stays that way the farther south you go, where we're a little bit warmer. But to the north, especially north of Highway 14, we do have that opportunity for some showers and maybe an isolated rumble of thunder or two. Tuesday also starts off quiet, but then some showers develop out to the west and northwest at first, with a better chance for rain coming around overnight than going into Wednesday. Wednesday could also feature the opportunity for a couple of thunderstorms, so you will want to keep that in mind. All the while, temperatures remain near to below average by day and even by night as well. As we head toward the start of summer and into the tail end of June, odds for below average temperatures are favored. But keep in mind, average is going to be in the low to mid 80s, so we're not talking about anything absurdly cold. Kind of like today. That's going to be seasonably cool for this time of year, where average is around 80. Mid-70s for most of the region, a couple of 60s out toward the hills, plenty of sunshine to go around, with overnight lows dropping into the 40s, even a couple of 30s not out of the question toward Custer. Either side of 50 on the warm side, if you will. Here's the rest of your 7-day forecast. We'll watch Wednesday. That's your best chance for rain, maybe even a few more showers by Saturday. All the while, though, temperatures are again near to below average by day and by night. For Aberdeen, 70s across the board. We get close to 80 on a few occasions like Monday, Tuesday, and then Friday and Saturday. But we also have chances for rain to watch, especially later Monday and then Wednesday as well. For Pierre, 77 today, either side of 80 really for the first half of the week. Mid-80s return Friday and Saturday. Wednesday is your best bet for rain. And in Rapid City, 70 today. We get back up to 83 by Tuesday. A few showers Wednesday and then again on Saturday. But by the end of the week, we do at least get back into the low to mid 80s. Have a great day, everybody. For more on your local news, weather, and sports, you can always head on over to KELOLAND.com.